Hey everyone, welcome to BootFab. In this video, I will show you a beginner-friendly step-by-step guide on how to run AutoGPT on your local machine. In fact, I'm going to try to use it to create the video you are watching today. Will it succeed? Stay to the end to see what happens. AutoGPT is an experimental open-source application showcasing the capabilities of the GPT-4 language model. It lets you run GPT-4 fully automatically. So basically, when you run the program, it will ask you to set a role for the AI and give it a few goals. And then the program will run fully autonomously to achieve whatever goal you set. Sounds amazing? Let's get into it. Okay guys, so first thing you're going to want to do is to go to the AutoGPT official GitHub page. I will leave a link in the description below. And keep in mind that this project is constantly under development, so the master branch may often be in a broken state, as you can see here. So you would want to always download the stable release, so you make sure it can actually work. And then you can look at the examples here. And then the features, it does offer internet access and memory management and ability to extend with plugins. Okay, so let's look at the quick start guide. First, you will need an OpenAI API key, then download the latest release of the stable version and follow the instructions, which I think they put together in the documentation. You do have the ability to configure extra features or install some plugins, but we're not going to get into too much detail in this tutorial because we just want to run the app. So don't worry, I will walk you through each step. So we will go to the documentation and we'll open up AutoGPT here and let's go to the setup page. And one thing to keep in mind is that the documentation is constantly in development, as well as the project itself. So don't be so surprised if you open it up and it looks different than what it's shown here, because literally yesterday, it looks different from what I'm seeing it right now. So you don't need to be too surprised. So let's first look at the setup requirements. You can choose one of these environments to run at. So Docker or Python or VS Code plus dev container. I think we're just gonna run with Python in the terminal, and you do need Python 3.1 or later. If you don't have it, you should go download it. For Windows, there's this guide. Just click on this link. And for Mac, you can just Google how to install Python, and it should be very straightforward. And then the next is to set up the API key for OpenAI. So if you haven't already, you do need to set up an OpenAI API key, and let's go there and try to set it up. So first you will need to log into your account. I'm going to log in with my account. Okay, so once you're here, you're going to see the API keys page. You can see I already have one set up. I did some tests before, and if you need a new key, you just create a new secret key here, give it a name, maybe call it AutoGPT, create secret key. So you do need to remember that you have to copy this key and save it somewhere safe. So it's very important that you don't show it to anyone, and also remember where it is, and because you will need to use it later. And this will actually, if you will not able to see it again after you close this window, so make sure to actually copy and save it somewhere. Okay, so click done, and now we have the API keys set up. And then when we're over here, we do need to set up two more things. The first is billing. You do have to put your credit card here, because if you don't put it here, it won't let you make requests. It does charge you a little bit of money in order to make API requests. So just put your payment method here. And then another thing, we need to probably want to set up the usage limits so we don't run too much over. So by default, the maximum usage limit is 120, and that's pretty high for pretty high if you're just doing some individual testing. So over here you can set a soft limit and then hard limit. So I set it as 2 and 5. So basically the soft limit, once you hit $2, it will send you an email, and hard limit will just stop it. And once you have this set up, you should be good to go. Okay, so now we can close this, and let's look at the next part. And next is to setting up AutoGPT. So we're not going to set up with Docker. We're just going to set up with Git. So make sure you have Git installed for your OS. If you don't, click this and install Git, because we will be using it to clone the repository. So here we can begin to install the project. So I'm just going to copy this command. Once you have this command copied, we're going to minimize our website window, and then I'm going to open up the terminal here. If you're using Windows, you can use PowerShell or CMD. Should be okay. And then we're going to need to find a location to save our file. So in this case, I think I'm just going to save it on my desktop. So ls, see what's in my desktop right now. And then I'm going to just paste that command we just copied. So I'm just going to copy it again, paste it in here. So now it should have the project cloned onto our desktop. So if I look at what's in my desktop again, we should see AutoGPT over here. So the next, we will cd into our project. So let's say cd AutoGPT. Now we should be inside of our project. So let's see what's the next. The next is we need to start configure our project. So we need to find the file named .inf.template in the folder, and then we need to change the name to .inf. So what I like to do is I like to open up my code editor, VS Code, from here. Okay, so now it's opened. And we can see the file is over here. And then we're just going to change the name of this file to .inf. Okay. Okay, now the name is changed, and then we will need to copy our OpenAI key without any quotes or spaces over here. You can see this is the OpenAI API key. And then what we will do is we will copy the API key we just created over here. Okay, and then just save it. Okay, so this should set up your API key, and now you should be able to make requests. And we are actually going to use a couple other settings, configure a couple other settings, but I think we can try running from here. So let's try running from here. I'm going to minimize my VS Code window, and then I'm going to open my terminal again. So to run the AutoGPT, you can go to the end of this page. It says run, and we're going to run without Docker. So if you're on Linux or Mac OS, you copy this command, and if you're on Windows, you use this command. So I'm going to copy the first command. Again, I think we need to go into our project folder. And then once we're in here, I'm going to run this command. Okay, so as you can see, it started to download the requirement packages. I already have a lot of these packages, but if you don't have them, it will start to automatically download all the packages. So as you can see, the memory file doesn't exist yet. We will set it up. We won't use the local memory. We will use API to do that. But as you can see here, we are in the program now. So this means the program is running properly. you can actually start to give it a name. But we will be setting up a couple other settings. One is the memory, and then second is the voice, so we can have it talk to us. And I'm going to just exit it for now. Okay, so once we have the application running and we know it's working, we're gonna go back to our instructions, and we will be setting up two more configurations. One is the memory management, and the second one is the voice, so we can have the AI talking to us. So let's go into the configuration and click on memory. So by default, it uses local cache, which stores the memory in a JSON file. And we will be using a service called Pinecone, and we will be setting up an API key and making requests to there. So if we go down, we can see the setup guide. So Pinecone basically lets you store vector-based memory and allow the GPT agent to load only the relevant memory at any given time. So to set it up, we will go to their website. I'm gonna close that. And then over here, we can see the API keys. Again, I already have it set up, and if you need to create one, you can log in and create API key over here, give it a name, and same thing, and then you can copy it. So this does allow you to copy it again, so there's not as much stress over there. So once we have this copied, okay, and I'm going to minimize my terminal, and you can copy your API key over here. Of course, uncomment this, and then we're going to copy it. You're also going to copy your environment over here. Okay, so then let's go back and see what else. So you want to set up this equals to Pinecone. So memory backend is Pinecone, so it's over here. So we want to specify that we're using Pinecone. So Pinecone. Okay, very good. And next, we will want to set up the voice, so we can have the AI talking to us. To do that, we will use 11 Labs. So open this link, and we want to go into their website. And to access 11 Labs, you want to use your profile, go to your profile, and then again here, copy your API key from here. And then once you copied it, and then over here, towards the end of the settings file, you are going to just paste your key here. Okay, and then we're going to go back, and in the documentation, they actually give a list of people and their voice ID we can use. So I don't know, let's choose Josh. Okay, so I'm going to paste the ID here and then save this file. Once you have all of your API keys set up, you save this .inf file, and we should be ready to run everything now. So let's minimize the code window, and I want to go back to the terminal and put it here. In order to use the speech command, we're going to copy this command and then paste it over here, and let's see what it does. Okay, so we can see speak.
Welcome to AutoGPT. Run with help for more information.
Okay. So
create an AI assistant. Enter the name of your AI and its role below. Entering nothing will load defaults.
Okay, so we're going to name it as YouTuber GPT.
YouTuber GPT here. I'm at your service.
Okay, so YouTuber GPT's goal is an AI designed to write engaging video content script with the goal of capture a large audience. And then it's going to ask you to write 5 goals, but you actually can write like 1 to 5 goals. So we're going to say, here are the goals for the YouTuber GPT. First, search about AutoGPT online, and then write a YouTuber video script for the audience about AutoGPT, and then save the video script as youtubergpt.txt, and lastly terminate the program once the file is saved. So I'm going to leave the number 5 empty, and we'll see what it does. Okay, we can see it started to think and searching for answers.
I will start by searching for information about AutoGPT online. I want to execute Google.
Okay, that sounds good. Okay, you can see it went onto the internet and searched a few websites. And let's see what it does next.
I will start by browsing through the search results to gather information about AutoGPT. I want to execute browse_website.
Okay, browse website. Okay. It's actually pretty good because it includes thoughts, reasoning, planning, and criticism even. Okay, so it got some answers and it started to think again.
I will browse more websites to gather more information about AutoGPT. I want to execute Google.
Okay, we'll Google again, so I'm actually just gonna have it run continuously for 3 times. So one thing I found out after trying it is it will actually go into
I will visit the AutoGPT
sometimes.
GitHub repository to gather more information about it.
Okay.
I want to execute browse_website. I will write the video script for AutoGPT using the information I've gathered so far.
Okay.
I want to execute write_to_file.
Okay. It now wants to write the script. It all sounds good, and let's see if it does it successfully. Oh, it says file written to successfully.
My task is complete. I have written the video script for AutoGPT and saved it to a file.
Okay.
I want to execute task_complete.
Okay. I'm gonna say yes. And now it's shutting down. And we will check the file it wrote. So if you open up the folder again inside of the workspace, we can see youtubergpt.txt is generated, and let's open it to see what's inside. Okay, that's pretty good. And let's copy this script, and I'm actually going to paste it inside of the event 11 labs and have it read it out for me. So let's use Adam. Okay, let's start generating.
AutoGPT is an experimental open-source application that demonstrates the capabilities of the GPT-4 language model. It is driven by GPT-4 and uses LLM thoughts to autonomously achieve a set goal. AutoGPT has internet access, long-term and short-term memory management, GPT-4 instances for text generation, access to popular websites and platforms, file storage and summarization with GPT 3.5, and extensibility with plugins. However, it is not a polished application or product, just an experiment, and may not perform well in complex real-world business scenarios. It is also expensive to run, so users must set and monitor their API key limits with OpenAI. In this video, we will be discussing AutoGPT, an experimental open-source application that demonstrates the capabilities of the GPT-4 language model. AutoGPT is driven by GPT-4 and uses LLM thoughts to autonomously achieve a set goal. It has internet access, long-term and short-term memory management, GPT-4 instances for text generation, access to popular websites and platforms, file storage and summarization with GPT 3.5, and extensibility with plugins. However, it is not a polished application or product, just an experiment, and may not perform well in complex real-world business scenarios. It is also expensive to run, so users must set and monitor their API key limits with OpenAI. AutoGPT is an exciting development in the field of AI, and it has the potential to revolutionize the way we approach complex tasks. With its ability to autonomously achieve a set goal, AutoGPT can save time and effort for businesses and individuals alike. However, it is important to note that AutoGPT is still an experimental application, and it may not perform well in all scenarios. Nonetheless, AutoGPT is a promising development, and it will be interesting to see how it evolves in the future.
Okay, I guess the first paragraph and the second paragraph are repeat of each other, so yeah, I would probably delete one of them. And then definitely it's not a polished product as it suggests, but it's interesting to be able to access the internet and have to like return all these information on its own and save it to a file. Definitely, yeah, it's very interesting. So yeah, I'm happy with this project. I hope you got something from this video, and see you next time. Okay, I hope you got some value from today's video. As you can see, AutoGPT can help you with a variety of different tasks. And although it's not perfect, it definitely paints a picture of what's possible. So go ahead, give it a try. I'm curious to know what you are using it for and how you are improving based on today's video. I would love to hear from you. If you have any suggestions or corrections, please share them in the comment section below. Your input and feedback are invaluable in helping me improving the content for BruteFab. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for more videos.